get up this early. But I've been wanting to, and finally had a reason to. Meeting my boy Toby Rappelling at the gym today, and I don't know if he started going early just for the days he works on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but he started going at 7 in the morning. He's a little late today, and so am I. But anyways, I just wanted to record this, and as you saw in the intro, I was snacking while I was eating some mixed nuts, unsalted nuts from Costco, just in the jar. And usually, hang on, I have my phone mounted on a phone holder on the vent, and it turns every time I turn. But anyways, usually, I was saying, I fast until like 11 or noon, and it's been working really well for me. I lost a lot of weight doing it. I lost like 50 pounds, and I felt good while I was doing it. But then I was watching, yesterday I was just watching, I was curious to see how bodybuilders ate. I'm not like trying to be a bodybuilder necessarily, but I was just curious. So I watched a day in the life of a couple bodybuilders and stuff that they ate. And they always eat before they go work out, and then they eat after. And so just to get the best performance and the most gains. So I was like, I'll try that, and I'll see if I have a little bit more energy maybe. So that's why I was eating there this early in the morning, and I don't know how I feel about it. It's weird because like when I wake up, I'm not hungry just automatically, just from fasting. My body's used to it by now because I've been doing it probably like 4 or 5 months. I've been doing it a long time. Video on the way to the gym. I'll also probably record on the way home because, like, you know, if you want to get really good at something, you just got to do a lot of reps, and eventually you'll figure it out. Like, I already feel just from watching my own videos that I'm way better than the first one that I started posting on here, and that was like 2 weeks ago. It's my first like vlog style video, because up until then the only videos I've ever made were just like gaming videos, or I guess I had there were some videos that weren't gaming related, but they weren't like this, like they weren't where you just talk and you're not on a script, and like there's always something to talk about. But this is kind of fun because like I always got to think of something to talk about. And so yeah, I'm just going to record as much as I can, and then maybe I'll take the best one. Maybe let me know. You think I should just take the best one? Should I edit them all together? I might have a super long video one day, depending on how long I'm driving for or how much I have to say. And or I could just take the best parts of each video and put them together. I think it's a pretty good idea. Just like, if you want to get really good at something, you just got to do it as much as you can. And I've been noticing recently, like on that one video, it's hard to do things alone, so let's do it together. That got so many views. I think last night I was looking at it, it got like 123 views. So thank you to everyone who watched that and who comes out to this video from there. But that was awesome. So then I started, but from seeing that, I started noticing myself. I was checking the views on my recent videos more often, which isn't a good thing to check lots. Like, you should just post it and just let it be. But I noticed I was checking the views more, and that's a bad thing. So then I told myself it's going to be like the gym, where I'm just going to go in. I'm just going to post the videos, and I'm not going to necessarily check the progress. Like, I'll check it when I post the video, when I go on there, but I'm not going to go out of my way to go and check the views and stuff, and likes and subscribers. Whoa. You can tell my body's not used to eating this early. So I'm just gonna start change my mentality here to be like kind of like what I have for the gym, which is just go in and do a bunch of reps, like over the long term, and then eventually one day you'll look and see your progress and it will be amazing. So that's a plan right now. I'm just gonna post. Well, I'm still gonna post daily. I might start posting multiple times a day, and I'm just gonna post as much as, or record as much as I can. I'm gonna start learning how to record and make more interesting videos. How to, I don't know, I'll just research and learn how to do more stuff. And I think, let me know what you're working on, what you'd like to be good at, and I think you should do the same thing. Whatever you want to do, just do it as much as you can and learn about it. Try something. Try as much as you can. That's one thing that I've learned in my life. I've just figured out recently, you don't lose anything from trying something as long as it's not like a drug or something. But try as many things as you can. Try as many different things as you can, as many different ways. You know what I'm saying? Get as much experience you can under your belt, and then you can go from there, because that experience you can learn from. If you like doing it or not, it will open something might pique your interest. It'll open a door to something else, and you can go from there, and you'll have experience to go off of. So that's my daily piece of wisdom right there. Oh yeah, also, if you made it this far, thank you. And I'm going to start. So I read How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, which is really old, super good bestseller book. I read it probably I think it was the end of February when I started it, I think. And it was a really good book, and I'm going to read it again. I'm actually going to start listening to it because I got it on Audible. I'm going to start listening to it at the gym too, so when I go in here, I don't know, because Hamza videos are entertaining and they're cool, but I think I'm going to start, maybe I'll listen to one Hamza video, and then I'll listen to the book for the rest of the time. But anyways, if you want to do that with me, I'm going to start, let's see, how should we break this up? I'll see how it goes, like how far I get on one gym session and listening to it. But I guess I'll probably end up listening to it more than once. Oh, I see Toby. He's coming in. But anyways, let me know if you want to do that with me, or if you just want me to do some recaps on like what the chapters that I get through. I think that would be really cool, and it's really beneficial. It's a super good book, so I think you should read it too. You can probably find it on the internet. You can find a PDF, or you could listen to it. But anyways, Toby's here. So if you made it this far, thank you. I appreciate you. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, join the Discord in the description, and I'll see you later. Just finished at the gym, and man, I missed those over the vacation. Those are awesome. Now we're headed to Toby's house. He lives somewhere where he doesn't get trash service, so I brought the truck. Got a 1997 F-150. What we're driving. And I'm gonna go and pick up his trash and take it to the dump. It's pretty cool. Got quite a drive to his house though, but man, the view that he has is worth it. So, morning workout, I would say I actually really liked it. And I'm not sure about eating before the workout. I might just have to get used to it if I start doing this more. Or I mean, I did feel like I had more energy than I used to, but I don't know. I probably shouldn't have ate just to see like what it was like, just to feel what working out was like in the morning this early. But then I also ate on top of that, so there's too many changed variables, I think, for me to really know which one it was. But I felt like I did more than usual and I had more energy, but that's also just coming off of vacation, so maybe I had a chance to rest, and I don't know. It's interesting. There's the yard sale. You know what's interesting is, like, up where I live, there's a lot of older people that live here, like retired people. So garage sales are like, sometimes older people will have really cool stuff that they used to use. It's like older stuff that they used to use that is still cool when they were younger. And sometimes it'll just be like old people stuff. Like, if that makes sense. And so sometimes garage sales are really cool up here, and sometimes they're not. Anyways, so the videos we listened to today, I listened to I think it was a live stream on Hamza Unfiltered channel where he was talking about how to formula life or something. And then I started How to Win Friends and Influence People, like I was talking about on my way there, I told you about. And it was interesting. because I haven't read it for a couple months, but I think from what a lot of people have said, you need to read it like multiple times, over and over. And it was still in the introduction part. I didn't get too far into the book, but he was talking about, the narrator was saying how Dale Carnegie, the author, wished that this book was in his hands like 20 years ago. Now, basically, after a survey that they did, I forget how many people they did it on, but it cost like $25,000 back then, which was a huge amount of money. And he was saying that the things that most people are interested in are health first, and then other people second. And like how to make people like you more, and how to deal with people, basically interact with people. And he was talking about, he mentions, one thing I do remember is that he mentions I think it's Andrew Carnegie, who's the steel manufacturer that was huge back then. And he mentions him a lot. And anyways, he gave a quote by Andrew Carnegie saying that the ability to lead people and deal with people is as purchasable of a commodity as sugar or salt or something like that. Which, I mean, it makes sense, because like, if you think about it, any of the high paying jobs is like, which is mostly commission based stuff. And hang on. And they almost all of them rely on your ability to deal with other people, and basically how effective you are with working with people, leading people, helping people, stuff like that. Everything to do with interacting with people. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, the money is coming from other people. Whether it's a business, whether it's your personal, like your salary, all the money that you get is coming from other people. So anything that you do, you're going to have to interact with other people in some way. And so he was like, then he started talking about how, it's like, well, why don't colleges teach this? If this skill is in such high demand, why aren't there courses that colleges teach about this? And that's a good question. I don't remember what he said after that, but why doesn't college teach this? Like, that's one thing I was talking about with my mom yesterday, is like, college, I don't want to go. Basically, just because, like, here's my thinking behind it, right? You go to college, you get a degree, and that degree helps you get a job as a career, which is making a salary. And personally, I don't want to make a salary, I want to make a commission, like I was talking about in yesterday's video, because, I mean, then you're uncapped on the amount of money that you can make. Whereas a salary, you do just barely enough to not get fired. And I don't want to live that kind of lifestyle. Like, I want to constantly be pushing myself to be the best that I can be at whatever I'm doing. I mean, some people have a big problem with that. Like my mom, she's just not like that thinking. But where was I going? Yeah, I think college, just the amount of time that you put in and the amount of money that a degree costs isn't worth it, in my opinion. And more people are getting degrees. The price keeps going up, but the value of the degree keeps going down because more and more people have it. Like supply and demand. So anyways, I also wanted to talk about on the plane ride back from vacation, well, the last couple plane rides, because it was a long movie. I watched King Richard, which is basically about the Serena and Venus Williams upbringing and their family and their dad, which is Richard Williams. And it makes a lot of sense. It was a super cool movie. Like, a lot of the stuff that they talk about in person and their views I don't agree with, but the movie was really cool. Basically, it was about, if you have people, you write out a plan and you stick to that plan and you work relentlessly on that plan, you're constantly just trying to do it, then it's gonna happen. Like, whatever you do, as long as you stay consistent, you have a plan, you keep doing it, and you do it every single day. If you do it more, do whatever you want to do more than the person that you're competing with, and you'll be better than them, basically. And so it was Venus Williams, this girl from Compton, California, that came out. She was playing tennis. Her dad would teach her every day. They would go out and they would play tennis and practice. And she had, well, including Serena, I think she had like 5 or 6 sisters that would also go out and help just the other 2 train. Her sisters themselves weren't training to play tennis, but they were out there helping the other 2 people train. And she goes on to play, like, she goes and plays these matches, and then her dad pulls her out of playing matches, so then she's only practicing. And then she practices for like 3 years, I think, and doesn't play a single match, and then she goes and plays against the best player in the world and ends up like winning in the first couple and then losing the match, which, sorry, I kind of spoiled it there. But anyways, just that idea of the movie I thought was really cool. How, like, if you have a team and a tribe behind you pushing you forward, constantly making you better, and you make them better, because, like, obviously by Richard making his daughters better tennis people, they're going to make money that he can live off of too. So, I mean, you help people and they help you most of the time. If you put that energy out, it'll come back. But there was one part of the movie, and by the way, Richard was played by Will Smith, so that was really good. He's a good actor. And there was one quote in the movie, one line that I thought was really cool, and he was talking to Serena, which was the younger one, and she was like all disappointed, like looking at the tennis court, because her sister was number 1, and she was doing all this good stuff, and her sister was kind of and Serena was kind of put on the back burner. And Richard walks up to her and was like, what did he say? He said, your sister is going to be number 1 in the world or something. And then he said, but you're going to be the best one to ever play in the history of the sport. And then he went on to explain, or to say that, like, he's doing it with her older sister first, so then he knows that it's possible. And then with the things that he learns from coaching her and her journey, he's going to use on Serena, and that's going to make her, like, refined and stuff. The refined method of his teaching is going to make her the best to ever play the sport. And I thought that was really cool, because, like, that's what you do, is you learn stuff from your failures, especially. Like, even though in that case it wasn't thought that was a really cool movie. If you're bored, go check that movie out. Also, I mean, it talks about, or the main theme of the movie is just like having a team that's willing to push you and support you and sacrifice for you. You know, it will end up helping them in the long term also. But if you have people around you that would do that, or you become the person that sacrifices for someone else, then it'll come back around, back to you. What else? There's another thing I wanted to talk about. The view from up here, though, from up here at Toby's house is amazing. We'll see. I'll show it to you once we get up here. The truck does not sound good. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's like... Well, one thing also that was in that live stream, the Hamza live stream that I watched, or listened to today while I was at the gym, he had people like come in and ask him questions on the live stream, like talk to people in the audience, and there was one part where one kid was like asking him about doing YouTube and stuff, and how school takes up a lot of his time, and he asked him, Hamza asked him, is YouTube the priority? He said, he like gave a bunch of excuses and stuff, and he's like, well, I guess it's a priority. And he's like, Hamza said, well, if it's not the priority, then you need to figure out what the priority is and do that. Because lots of people have, they focus on things that they don't need to focus on, and they do things that doesn't help them. And if they were just to pick one thing out and become really good at that one thing, like that's one thing one quote, I forget who said it, but I saw it somewhere, and it's the extraordinary people aren't extraordinary because they do a bunch of things. They become really good at one thing. They become extraordinarily good at one thing, and that's what makes them extraordinary. So I guess that's a season of life that we're in right now. It's trying to figure out what that one thing is. Pick one thing to focus on and just become insane at. Look at this. We got turkeys crossing the road here. I don't know if you can see. There's the view. It's pretty amazing. Yeah, now that you've seen that, I'm gonna end the video here. So if you made it this far, thanks for watching. Subscribe, join the Discord link in the description, be part of a community, and I'll see you in the next one. Alright, we've secured the trash, as you can see behind me. Ooh. Just went off the curb. And we got it all loaded up. And taking it to the dump now. So you're on the dump ride with me. This is the dump run. Do this like probably every week or two. But since I've been on vacation, I haven't done the dump run in a while. So we got a lot of trash back there this time. Plus he had two parties. He had a 4th of July party and another party with some very interesting things that happened at it. And that he's told me about. I wasn't there because I was on vacation. Which, I'm not really a party person. I don't know. Let me know if you are. But personally, like I got a rock in the tire. I should have checked that. And I got out because, well, I had to pull over to, because one of the bags was open and wasn't tied, so trash was flying out, and had to pull over and tie it up. And I should have checked the tire. Oh, there's a nice car. So basically, what happened is there was a very nice car at the party, and there was someone who ended up scratching it very badly on his gates. Lots of damage, very expensive. That sucks. I would be so mad if that was my car, but you know how it goes. That's one thing too. If you join the Discord, we got one of my friends in there, Ida Gitos, Evan. He posted in there like a paragraph about how you shouldn't worry about things you can't control. You can only worry about things you can control, and that's so true. And I mean, you can control that. So I mean, the only thing you could do is just focus on getting it fixed and figuring it out. That's one thing that I'm trying to work on. I noticed I'm getting a little better at it. You know, when you start worrying about things you can't control, because then you can't control them. You just focus on what you can't control. Driving downtown right now, downtown of my town, and it's 9:20. So there's not that many people, and it's kind of weird because usually there's a good amount of people down here. It's downtown, even though it's a pretty small place. But it's weird. Like everyone's just like, I don't know what they're doing. It doesn't look like they're going to work. It's 9:20. They should be at work. Nice newer WRX STI. Those are pretty big here. Oh, we got the little car giving out parking tickets. About to pass by a restaurant I used to work at. I used to be a busser down here, and it was alright. I mean, I guess I liked not being hourly because like you get paid on tips. I think I made minimum wage, like for which it's different for like waiters and bussers because you get tips on top of that. So minimum wage, I think I was making like $3.25 an hour, and then I would get tips, which was not very good. It was not what I was supposed to be getting, which is why I stopped working there. Percentage, but I mean, it ended up being like equaling out to like $17 or $18 an hour, which was fine for being in high school as just a summer job. I guess it was pretty good. But one thing I learned from there is like, definitely don't want to work under people and have someone else control how much you're making, because people are not always honest. And you can only learn from things that you do, right? So it was an experience I had. That was my first like formal job. That was really my only formal job, was being a busser there. And I mean, it took a while, like being introverted, to get used to people with, and his name was Robert, and he was like a co-owner with like a record label, but it was a super tiny record label, and like you could tell it was just something that he did on the side, because like he had a website, but it was kind of like, what's the word, like abandoned, not really taken care of, not updated. It was cool to talk to him. I guess he had a studio that he rented out like an hour away, and because at that time I was really interested in music and like learning how to make music. I never ended up making any music. Like I would try, but I didn't try hard enough. It wasn't the priority, like we were talking about earlier. Like I don't know what I'm going to do with all of these videos that I'm recording today. Maybe I won't post one or two of them, I don't know. But just to get practice talking on camera, I'm just doing it anyways. I'm going to record basically as much as I can. Most of it's going to be while I'm in the car, because that's when I'm able to, when I'm by myself. It's like, I know I should just grow up and just not care what my family would say if they heard me talking. But I mean, then they're gonna be like, oh, you need to stop doing that. That's not a good idea. You're wasting your time. You shouldn't be putting this stuff on the internet, right? I'm not talking about things that like shouldn't put on the internet. I'm just developing my skills, right? But they don't think that way. They probably wouldn't understand that. So I'm here talking to you whenever I get some alone time. That's another reason why I didn't record on vacation, which I really should have. I should have recorded more, because there was some awesome views I could have shown you guys. And like that one pool video, that was a sick thumbnail and a sick background environment, just sitting by a pool recording a video. I could have done that every day for like, I think we were there for like 7 days, maybe 6 days. I had 6 videos with the pool background, but I didn't. And that's one thing too, I forget which one of Hamza's things he was talking about was like fear. The things that you're scared of, that you're fearful of, are so stupid. Like, if you would actually say out loud, like saying, that's the first time I've said out loud that fear. And if you write things down, with a fire truck next to you, you write things down and then you realize that it's not actually that big of a fear. Like, it's a stupid thing that you're worried about. You write it down, and then I forget what the process was, but you like write it down, you talk about what the worst thing that could happen is, and then you write what you would do if that thing happened, like worst case scenario, and what you would do, and then you just do it, because now you know what to do if the worst thing happens, so then you can do it. You know what's really weird is like, because I usually fast. I was talking about this in the earlier video. I usually fast until like 11 or noon, but I ate like a bag of nuts, mixed nuts from Costco, before my workout, just to have some energy and try something, just to see if it would help me at all. And I have this really weird like taste in my mouth, like almost metallic taste. It's really weird. I've been drinking water trying to get rid of it, and I don't know if it's just from talking so much, because like usually I don't talk much. I don't talk half as much as I am in this video in a whole day usually. That's another reason why I'm recording all these videos, because like I need to get used to talking. I need to sharpen my people skills, and so I can have something to say around people. I would rather listen to people talk than talk myself any day. So business if you have a trailer. That was kind of cool. I saw this yesterday. So I was out here. Junk removal. That's a nice trailer. Just sitting there advertising. Junk removal. Starting at $349. And all they do is they deliver the trailer to you. You fill it up and then they haul it off. And I mean, if I had a trailer, that would be a great business. I know my grandpa has a bunch of trailers. Like, he loves trailers because he likes toys, and so he moves stuff around all the time. And he has I think he said like 12 trailers. And my mom was trying to talk to him about like, you should start renting out your trailers so people can use them. But the thing is like, he likes nice stuff, so his trailers are so nice that he doesn't want people to rent his trailers because, renters, they don't take care of things, and his trailers are too nice to be rented out, basically. So that's something to think about too. If you want to rent something out, don't get something super nice. Like, if you want, say you live in a city and you buy a car, don't buy a car that's super nice if you plan on renting it on like Turo just to bring in some extra income. See, that's one thing too, is there's so many ways to make money out here. Like,